Okay, today we're going to talk about the washer and dryer here in Japan. It's a little bit different than what you're used to using. A little bit smaller, not as strong as what we used to, but they still get the job done. You just need how to use them properly. So the first thing to think about is the sizes of these. So dryers are typically smaller, and their size will be here. So this one's a Panasonic, and the first number is a 6. They'll let you know this one holds 6 kilos. So it's not huge, but it's decent. The washer, on the other hand, this one is also a Panasonic. This one tells you it's a 10 kilo. So this one's actually larger than this. And that becomes an issue with a lot of people because they'll fill this up and try to put the same amount of clothes in here, and it doesn't work that way. You can only do 10 at the most, 6 at the most. If you try to put 10 kilo in here, it's not going to dry, it's going to overheat your clothes. So you get your washing machine. When you first move in, you want to make sure that the hoses are connected. This is your water in hose. It's connected to your valve here. And this hose here needs to be connected here or somewhere along the top for your dryer drain. A lot of times these hoses will just fall out and flop and you'll see puddles of water on the floor. Check this first. This is more than likely your culprit. Unlike most washing machines, this one actually has a hot and cold. Most times you'll only see a cold. You want to make sure these are on. So typically just turn on the cold water, use the hot water only when necessary. You don't want to use it all the time. If you're going to be gone for a while, you can turn this valve back off. Other than that, just leave it open. The other thing you want to check is on the ground down here. You can check under, make sure there's a hose down here and it's in the drain. So your agent should have made sure all that was done and made sure that it was plugged in. So you have all these settings. Everyone's going to be a little bit different. This is your power on, off, start. This is your course selection. These are your different courses. I'm not going to tell you which ones these are because your machine is going to be a little bit different, but you'll be able to select your course. These are for your settings, your water levels, your spin cycles, your rinse cycles, and your dry cycles. Easiest way to use these machines is just put your power on, load in your clothing. Make sure it's in there and it's all level. You know, we just clump them in. In here, you can put your detergent, your softener, and your bleach. Sometimes your bleach will be on the side. Sometimes it'll be in here. Typically, if you're going to use these, liquids is what you need to use. If you're going to use powders, just dump them right inside. Once you get your clothes in, close the lid, and you're going to hit start. During the start process, it'll start balancing it out and figuring out what weights and stuff you use. And then it'll start to fill the water. In between cycles, you need to make sure this stays clean. And then you have 2 of these, one here and one here. These are lint filters. These just come out. You can take them to the sink, pop them open, and you want to clean out any lint that you'll have in here. Rinse it, let it dry out a little bit. It doesn't need to be perfectly dry. Put it back together. And put it back in here. So this one's a plastic one. There's some that are little net bags. Same thing. The net bag will stick out when it's full of lint, but make sure you keep those clean. These holes here, over time, you'll start to see crud and stuff build up. And they make a cleaner, and I'm going to post it here on this video for y'all. You'll drop that in. Some settings will have drum cleaner. Some won't. So if you got a drum cleaner setting, you can hit your drum cleaner setting and let it run that course. If not, just use a wash setting. That'll clean it out. For your dryer, same thing. Power on, start. These are your different settings, but you can let it set itself. And then this is your hot and cold air. You can do, not hot and cold air, your power, low and warm. This one lets you know that the filter needs to be cleaned. To clean these filters, it's back here. You just got to pull tightly. And there's your filter basket. Right. This all comes apart. You clean this off. This is a mesh, and then this is foam. They make a disposable one of these. You can buy a 10-pack of them or a 20-pack of them on Amazon. Fairly cheap. It's like 1,000 yen. Makes this cleaning a little bit easier. When you're done with that, push it, and you want to make sure it clicks. If you don't hear that click, it's not in there properly, and it's going to wind up turning itself off. Close your door, press power, start. Very simple to use. Over time, you just got to watch because you'll get buildup here. And again, you'll get buildup in the drum in here. And what'll happen is it'll drain out and it'll get stuck in here. So every now and then you want to check this hose. Make sure it's not clogged. Check in here. This one's this type. There's another type that's got a little mesh filter there. And you'll pull it out, check it, make sure there's no trash buildup in there. And then put your hose back in. Make sure it's all done. Some homes, not this one, you'll come into the bathroom and there'll be a pole in the bathroom. And on your wall out here, you'll have another panel or you'll have a remote for it. And you could dry your clothes in here. Those units will help save a little bit of electricity. I'm going to do another video here in a little while on how to use the all-in-one. Their cleaning is a little bit more intense. But if you maintain these units, you keep them clean like that, use the right cleaning supplies when you're washing your clothes, you'll have no issue with these units. Same with the dryer. I'm going to load up a guide, but basically if you've got, let's say, 6 kilo dryer, that's how many clothes it'll actually hold. For 6 kilos, you're looking at like 5 t-shirts and 2 pair of jeans. Maybe 10 towels. That's going to be about 6 kilos. For a 10 kilo washer machine, you're looking at about 5 shirts, 2 jeans, and 2 towels. Or like 40 t-shirts. So it's not a whole lot of clothing. If you overdo it, they're not going to spin cycle. It's not going to drain them properly. So you're going to put really damp clothes in here, which the dryer can't handle that. So you need to make sure what you're putting in here is enough that this can handle it. And what you're putting in here is enough that it can handle it. If you overload either one, you're going to mess up the whole cycle. So if you put in 15 kilos of clothes in here, even if you put 6 kilos of clothes in here, it's still not going to work because it didn't spin cycle properly. They're very, very sensitive to too much water in the dryer. So just be careful with that. I'll load up some more information on here for y'all. Hopefully this helps. Okay, so here's another type. This one's going to be a smaller, more typically what you'll see in single family homes and single sailor homes. You're looking at, for this one, it's a 7 kilo, and this is a 5 kilo. So just remember your weights, and I'll post a chart on that later. Your same settings are here. On, off, and start, right? And again, you've got your drain for your dryer. This is what you want to make sure. You could see through it, but you want to make sure there's no lint and stuff trapped in here. And you want to make sure it's connected to the washer. You'll see this one's been taped on. Like I said before, it comes off. If it goes to the side, you won't notice it, and it'll start leaking on the floor, and you'll start seeing water pool up. So make sure this is connected. And then your water connector, just a normal connector, right? Connected to the wall. These are quick connects on the wall, and they've got a stopper in there for water. So, and then here's your valve, single valve. This is a cold water only, and this is your normal setup. So this is typically what you'll see. You want to make sure the water's on, not off. So it's on. On this one, you'll see this cover here peels open. There's a hole there, and then here on this side is a connector. What this is for is it's only cold water. So you get a hose like this. This piece here will plug in there. This piece here will plug into that clip. And then you'll run that hose to here, fill up the bathtub full of hot water, and that's how you'll get hot water. Right? If you notice your washing machine has this hole plug, but doesn't have the hose, you can ask your agent, or you can go to Home Center. If it doesn't have the plug, that means it's got an internal pump. So you don't need this type. If it does have the plug, that means you need the external pump. These are harder to come by because they're model specific. So you have to have this one ordered, and they're a little bit more expensive. So if you're lucky enough to have the hose, great. If not, you can buy it as long as you don't need the external pump. Right. On this one, this is your lint trap on this one. It's a bag type versus the clip type. You push down and slide it out, comes out. You clean the bag, you put it back in. You need to line those lines up perfectly, and it clips back in place. This one only has one, so you want to make sure this is all clean of lint and stuff like that. You'll also notice this one doesn't have the tray here, so you just put your chemicals inside here. This is a release for, you can put your bleach in there, and that's how you use this one. For the dryer, it's the same thing, power on, start. Right? Here's your coarse settings, air settings. This is for your power, low and high, and it is for your filter cleaning. Right? When it starts to flash, it means you need to clean your filter. Right? This here, this hatch, open for green courses, closed for pink courses. So if you're just using air course, you can leave this open. If you're going to use any of these normal courses, you want to have this closed. A lot of people just leave this open. The manufacturer suggests the way I just said it, closed and open, but you take that as you want. Filters in the back, same thing. Pull it out, clean the filter, put it back in. If you overload this unit with this closed, it's going to overheat. Your closure is going to get hot. Make sure you only put 5 kilo or less damp clothing, not soaking wet clothing, into here. And that's how you use this unit. On the other one, I was telling you to make sure the drain hose is connected. This is your drain. If you use the pods or you don't clean the filters and stuff like that, all of that can be trashed through here and it'll get stuck. You'd have to open this up. It's just a spin. Pull it out, clean it out, close it back up. You can also they make some tablets that you can put down in here to help keep the smell out and to keep the dirt from building up. So that's where this is at. So at the end of this video, I'm going to put you in the weight informations, how to decide what weight would go in each unit. And I'll put in some information of different cleaners and products that you can use in these units. Now we're going to go ahead and do the all-in-one combo unit. Stand by. Okay, so here's all-in-one unit. All-in-one unit, the difference mainly is you have two filters to clean. You have the top filter. Just pull this one out. And this will be your lint trap here. You check in here also, make sure you've got no lint built up. Put that back in there. And then the biggest one people forget is this lower one. You gotta open this door. Make sure you got a towel here because it's got water. Turn this to the unlock position. Slide it out. And you clean out this lint trap. Replace this. And then you're good to go. So the drum styles, the good thing with these is it's all in one. You can turn off the dry function and just use it as a washer. You can just use it as a dryer, or you can use it as all in one. Load in your clothes. You'll have your tray here for your liquids, or like the other ones, you can just put it in here. You can use the pods in here also. If you're going to use the pods, just make sure you turn this all the way up no matter what. You put a small load in here with a pod. This will only go up to 15. The pod won't fully be dissolved and it can clog up the train. So make sure you turn this all the way up to 30. And then you got your power on and starts here. Right. This home also has Okay, so let's talk about this again. As you've seen in the video I just showed you, you can find all your cleaning supplies and stuff for the wash machine, your laundry, at any store. The last item is the cleaning for the drum. The most common one is the liquid. They do sell a powder and they sell a tablet. The liquid, you just use it like a detergent. You'll put it inside your detergent, close it, and then run your drum cleaning setting. Or if you don't have a drum cleaning setting, you can run just a normal wash setting. The other thing I suggest to do is once a month or so, throw in some rags, kitchen rags, whatever you have. Inside that water, take like a cup or half a cup of white vinegar, add it to your drum, and run the wash like normal. That vinegar will get inside here and it'll kill mold. Vinegar is probably the best for killing mold. It's a little bit stronger and better than bleach itself, especially on these. So I suggest doing that. So a little bit more on these things. This is your bathroom dryer. This unit, if you check inside here, you'll see the pole is hung on this one. This one's adjustable. Some of them are fixed. You'll hang your clothes on here, your wet clothes. If you use like button-up shirts and stuff like that, hang the button-up shirt, tap it out with your hands to get it a little bit straight, add some liquid starch, let the weight pull it out, and the starch will hold it, and you'll have pressed clothes that way. Not really pressed, but they'll be straightened. What you do is you come back out here after you've got your clothes hung up there. This is for dry function. You can hit the dry function or the heat function, close the door. And it'll heat up that clothes, it'll dry out the clothes. This is a cool air function, and this is just ventilation. When you hit this, it'll show you your time, you can change it. And that's how long it'll run for. So these are really useful. They're really helpful. We use this a lot, especially in the winter, to hang clothes in here. Heavier clothes, towels, stuff like that. It works really good. Try that. So if you're doing larger laundry, coming to one of these laundry mats is your best bet. They have these in every community. Some of the newer ones are really nice. When you come in, you'll have only dryers, only washers, and all-in-ones. These all-in-ones, you just throw in your blankets, your sheets, whatever you're going to do. Put in your coins, and it does everything. So you pick up your loads and how long you want it to wash and dry for. You can just do wash only on these. And it gives you a chart, exactly about 16 kilos is 5 blankets and stuff like that. So these will work best. Some of the newer ones have softeners that you can select and stuff like that, but they already have soap preloaded in most of them also. You can add soap. They have vending machines. This one does vending machines to get your coins. They have vending machines that'll do softener sheets for the dryers. So they're really easy to use. You'll always see a self-cleaning button on them. So before you use it, you can push this. It'll clean the unit before your laundry goes in. You'll also have these in there typically, and these are for your shoes. You put your tennis shoes in the wash machine, pull them out, and then they'll go in a dryer. You slide your shoes on. That way it's not tumble drying, it's just air drying your tennis shoes. Really convenient. They're not that expensive to use. I suggest using them for heavier items, jackets, blankets, sweaters. Sometimes the sweaters get tangled up in the smaller dryers. These are better. So check one out. Don't be scared of them.